What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Swain and today we're going over the vevor heat press 16 by 24 inch that we purchased off Amazon. And we're gonna review it, the good and the bad, and we're gonna let you know whether you should buy this or skip it. Let's jump into it. Okay, so before we jump into the good and the bad of this bad boy, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any further reviews, and then stick around to the end of the video where I'm gonna let you know if you should actually purchase this heat press or pass on it. All right, so before we start with the good, this heat press costs about $350 off Amazon, so not the cheapest, but definitely not the most expensive. The first good thing that we're gonna talk about with this heat press is the overall size that you can press on here. It's 16 inches by 24, which allows you to do some pretty large presses. Honestly, we haven't done anything that needed anything larger in this. So we're very happy that we can pretty much do any size transfer sheet on our garments that we're working with. No complaints with the size. This is a big boy and you're gonna like it. Now, with every good, there's gonna be a bad. And this one is a bad, but I've kind of gotten used to it, but we're gonna talk about it. So one of the bad things about this is there's no handle on the front right here. So when you're pressing and you press all the way down, you can't just pull this thing up. So you have to place your hand kind of right here while you pull up to be able to release it. It's slightly annoying, but you kind of get used to it after a while, but that's gonna be a bad note for this heat press. Most of them that I've seen online or that I've seen people use, they do have the handle in the front. So there's a bad note. Okay, got a good, you got a bad. Now we're gonna go to another good. Another good thing about this heat press, the overall heat distribution across this thing, I haven't had any issues. I've pressed directly in the middle, over on the sides, corners, wherever I'm pressing at, these things are peeling off, having no issues, and I've been very impressed with especially for the price and getting this thing off Amazon. I've been genuinely impressed with how this thing has been working, and we have no complaints with the heat distribution on this heat press. Boom, teleportation. All right, so two goods, now let's give you the second bad. Another bad thing about this heat press, as you'll notice, this thing doesn't slide out. It's stuck right there, and it's definitely made pressing shirts a little bit more difficult, and I've had to figure out ways to make it work better to just speed up the overall production when we have a lot of garments that we're working on. Most heat presses you see, they do slide out. This one doesn't, so it's definitely a learning curve. It makes it a little bit more difficult when you were trying to throw a shirt on there, and you're gonna have a hard time placing it on there and then lining up your garments and stuff. So I have figured out a way to be able to quickly get the shirt from here onto here, and we press. All right, so another good thing about this heat press is the overall interface to be able to use it. Very simple, straightforward. You're not gonna have any issues getting this thing to the temperature that you want. And there's just a couple simple dials on it. You flip the switch on, you have your temperature gauge, up and down arrow, you press it, go to where you wanna be at, then press temperature again, and then you can change your timer. Same thing, up and down. Very straightforward, very easy. You're gonna have zero issues working that. With every good, there's another bad. And one of the issues I've had with this heat press is that it randomly stopped working on me, and I had no idea what happened. I didn't know if it just died on me, if we're gonna have to send it back to Amazon. So what I had to end up doing is take the back panel part over here on the back side of the heat press, and I had to start checking the wires. I got my wiring meter to check if the wires were hot and trying to find the issue basically, and I ended up finding one of the wires that was connected to the switch over here on the left side. It was kind of loosely fitting on there, barely touching the connection point for the switch for the power to go through to the rest of the heat press. And so I had to go to Home Depot, get a little part and get a new clamp to put on there. It's not really something you want to do when you buy a heat press and you're spending this kind of money, so I would definitely give it a knock for that. Also, another thing to consider too is if you are messing with the wires and stuff like that, you could potentially mess up your warranty. I was willing to risk it for the biscuit because I had to get some garments done. We were able to get it. Haven't had any issues with it since then, but I gotta give it a knock for sketchy wiring. We talked about the wires, and let's talk about another good thing about this thing. And the price point, I think, is a very good thing with this vevor 16 by 24 inch heat press. I mean, you're talking not super expensive. If you go to some of the websites, you're gonna be spending upwards to $800 to $1,000 for a good quality heat press, which we do eventually want to get to, but our previous heat press that we got from Amazon took a crap on us, so we had to send it back. Luckily, we got through Amazon, we were able to get a refund, and then we decided to upgrade to this one, especially for the overall size of it. So 350 bucks, we got it in a couple days. We were able to finish our orders that we were working on, and I feel like 350 bucks is a pretty fair price point for the overall quality and what you can do with this thing. And I think this is a good heat press that you can have once you upgrade and have on the side once you get a nicer one. But overall price point, you're gonna like it. Another thing I do not like about this heat press that I've kind of gotten used to are these little floppy boys down here. It's kind of nice when you're pressing down on things, a little bit softer of a layer underneath them, but when you have a shirt that's going on the heat press, all right, so when you're pulling a shirt off and you just want to pull it off, it'll get caught on these things. Either pull them off or it just kind of gets jacked up. So that's something that's slightly annoying, but it's not that big of a knock on the overall heat press to give it that bad of a review. It's just something that it's annoying. You have to kind of get used to while you're making shirts on this heat press. So I gave you some good points. I gave you some bad points of this heat press, and you guys are wondering, should you purchase this thing? If I had to give you my honest opinion on if you should, if you're in the market to upgrade the size of your heat press and you can afford it, I would recommend this. The things that are bad about this aren't enough for me to say do not purchase this. I have also heard from other people though, some of the vevor products are a little questionable, but so far so good with our experience with this heat press. If you're looking to upgrade your heat press and have a little bit more flexibility and be able to do more for your customers, I would say go ahead and purchase this. If you purchase off Amazon, then you have the warranty that comes with that, and if it does not work for you or something you don't like about it, you're able to send it back. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you do have this heat press, if you have things you like about it, you don't like about it, or if you have other heat presses that you would recommend around this price point. And we will be using this until we upgrade to a nicer heat press, probably in the upper $800 to $1,000 range, where we have more flexibility and be able to up our production. But overall, this thing works good for the boys, and we appreciate you guys watching this review. Hopefully this helps you guys make your decision on whether you want to buy this or not. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the boys. We truly appreciate it. We want to give you guys honest opinions and reviews on these kind of things, and overall just give you guys quality content that you guys can watch and enjoy. All right, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.